Hey there, folks. I'm Matt Welch. I'm the sports editor here at Star Local Media. Week one of the high school football season is in the books. All the me and the rest of the staff, we're all back at the office cranking out our stories. Just wanted to swing by just to give a look back at the game that I was at tonight. I'm going to talk for a little bit, then the rest of the guys are going to come in. Just throw out some thoughts on just the games that we saw tonight. I was out at Eagle Stadium for a very anticipated game between Allen and Cedar Hill. One of the biggest games in the state. Ultimately, a game that kind of falls a little bit short of expectations, though. Allen is able to build a 23 lead at halftime and kind of hold serve from there. They hang on to beat the state-ranked Longhorns 23-8 as part of the Tom Landry Classic. A game that had a smidge of drama late. Cedar Hill attempted to make a late charge. Ultimately, though, Allen's able to keep them at bay, win by 2 scores. Like I said, Allen built a 23-0 lead in the first half, and the tone for this one was kind of set 2 plays in. Cedar Hill loses a fumble on just its second play of the night. Allen scores moments later, scores another touchdown just a few minutes after that. Midway through the first quarter, they're already up 14-0, and that was kind of all she wrote. A lot of this one kind of boiled down, at least early on, to Allen just being opportunistic, taking advantage of quite a few Cedar Hill miscues. Cedar Hill turns the ball over 3 times. They commit 10 penalties, and Allen was right there to capitalize each time. At least in the first half, they're able to get those 2 early touchdowns. They get a safety after a Cedar Hill special teams snafu in the second quarter and score immediately after that for a 23-0 lead. And then things kind of fell flat from the rest of the way. Both defenses played lights out in this one. Cedar Hill, despite the deficit, their defense holds Allen just to only 271 yards of offense. Allen never really shifted gears a whole lot after that. After the quick start, they only outgained Cedar Hill by 5 yards despite the score. Brock Sturgis goes over 100 yards. Grant Tisdale throws for a 107, runs for 45 and a touchdown. Cedar Hill was able to score early in the fourth quarter, I should say, and had a chance to make it a 1-score game a couple minutes later, but ultimately turns it over on downs. But just a game that you got to see. Those first 2 drives by Allen looked like vintage Allen from last year, but you can still see that there are some areas that are still a bit of a work in progress. And it's week 1, and Cedar Hill has. There's a lot of talent on that Cedar Hill defense, and that obviously contributed to some of Allen's shortcomings on offense tonight. But ultimately, they're able to get a win that the kind of win that it's impressive. You beat a state-ranked opponent, but obviously there's still plenty to go back to the drawing board and improve upon. Which for week 1, that's honestly probably a pretty good thing. So that was where I was at Friday night. I would obviously be remiss if I did not mention my game on Thursday night. Hands down, the better of the 2 games that I saw. I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start of the week, but quite a fun little finish from Clark Stadium between Plano Senior and Hebron. The Wildcats hang on for the 27-26, and in the eyes of some, a bit of an upset victory. The second straight year that they beat Hebron to start the season. Essentially, like I said, this one had a pretty wild finish. Plano was able to grab a 27-20 lead with 90 seconds left in the game on a touchdown run by Kyron Cumby, I want to say. Kyron Cumby, and then with 90 seconds left, so they're up by 7. Hebron goes right down the field with 6 seconds left. Clayton Toon finds Trajan Bridges for a 15-yard touchdown. They're going for the tying extra point, and the snap sails through the holder's hands. Bounces 10 yards downfield. Plano makes the tackle, and that's it. So a heartbreaking way for Hebron to start its season in a game that they were in control of early on, and then Plano's run game completely reversed momentum in the second half. Plano, and after being fairly quiet on the ground in the first half, Plano finishes with over 200 yards rushing as a team. Kyron Cumby goes over 100 yards himself. They really committed to the run. They only threw twice in the second half. A lot of direct snaps to Cumby and running back Cody Christ, some aptly named Wildcat runs, if you will. And they were able to start off the season 1-0 for a third straight year over a quality opponent. This is supposed to be a good Hebron team, and they definitely showed flashes of potential. They had a tough time establishing the run, despite getting a 44-yard carry on its opening drive. Hebron only runs for 86 yards on the night, so they kind of scrapped the run late in the second quarter, fell back on the arm of their Division I quarterback Clayton Toon, and the connection between Toon and Trajan Bridges was something to behold. They connect for 3 touchdowns, some incredible catches by Bridges. That should be one of the more exciting quarterback wide receiver combos in the area this season. But ultimately, they fall short due to a little special team snafu at the end. So a wild finish there. And to top things off, I got locked inside the stadium last night. That's right, I finished up my story and was locked inside Clark Stadium. I had to scale a fence to get out, but don't worry, I didn't sprain an ankle. No, not going to spend any time on the DL, so I'm all good, ready to go for next week. So, but yeah, that was my week for football coverage. A fun little one at that. So, hey, I appreciate you guys watching. To read the stories, obviously go to online at starlocalsports.com. You can follow me on Twitter at MWelchSLM. Hey, have a great night, people. Hey, appreciate y'all watching.